Hello everyone, welcome back, and I have a gem for you today. It is Beyond the Sea by Paul Lynch. And one of the real benefits of doing this vlog is sometimes to bring you novels and titles that have been published, maybe have won awards sort of lower down the tree, but haven't necessarily come to your attention because of the flood of titles that we can see in our bookshops every time we go. Hello, Beyond the Sea by Paul Lynch. This book is a gem. Small one. Fantastic. I loved this. It basically centres around two fishermen who survive a terrible storm off the coast of an unnamed South American country, and their little fishing boat drifts out to sea, and it is a story about how they survive, how they build bonds together. It's basically an existential analysis of who we are. What is it that makes us human? How do we live, and how do we work with and against nature, the huge ocean? How do we live and work against each other, and what is it that we hold on to? What is it that makes us human? And then when push comes to shove, in the absolute crunch, do we survive or do we cave in? But this isn't just a vehicle. Paul Lynch has written a beautiful book. The two fishermen are very different characters. We have Bolivar, who is an old hand. He's a bit of a chancer in life. He is the one that really needed to go out despite the warnings of the storm. He owes debts. He's had a shady past, covered in tattoos. You know, he's a fisherman. He really knows his stuff. He's been doing it all his life. And he manages to pair up with Hector, someone he'd never met before. They take on this unfortunate voyage. Hector is a young man. He's insecure. He's at the start of his life. He's not sure what he wants from the world, but he knows that he wants something lovely and exciting. So Hector and Bolivar, they go out to sea despite warnings from the village into this storm to get a huge catch which will make them a load of money, and they can all go and spend it on the women they love or the debts that they need to pay. However, a truly terrible storm crushes the seas and the boats around them, and they are the only survivors in this tiny little fishing boat, and they've lost all contact with the harbour, with their town. There's no signal, and basically they're left to survive in the wide expanse of the ocean. It is beautiful. The characters are fantastic. There are moments of darkness, obviously, as the two men get desperate. There are moments of surrealism when you feel the starvation, the dehydration is getting to them. It starts playing with their mind. But there's moments of real clarity and gallows humour as the men try and find something in each other as well as themselves to hold on to. They form a bond in impossible circumstances, but is it enough to save them and bring them through? You are really caught up in the survival of these two men. And in addition to it being an existential thread, like I said, there's also this beautiful sense of the ocean that can nourish them and the ocean that can destroy them. You know, you can live by the ocean, but it can also kill you. And I wanted to read just a little bit just to give you a sense of how beautifully this is written, because there's a couple of quotes on the back that say, you know, it's very poetic, sort of very Emily Dickinson-y, and it has a certain lyrical quality to it. But don't let that intimidate you. I found it very readable. Okay, ready? At night, Bolivar listens to Hector weeping also. Grief is a thing that sits shapeless between them. Bolivar says, pain is a dog that follows you no matter where you go. He shakes himself, wipes his eyes with his wrist. We are like a pair of old women, he says. We need to stop this blubbering. It uses up moisture. Bolivar stands up and walks about and sits down again. He feels the need to speak. He holds Hector's eye and does not blink. He says, I dream about my daughter now every night, who she might be. I dream about the emptiness I left behind. I guess now she is 14 years old. He falls silent. Then he says, I do not think I can talk about it. Oh, it's so beautiful, Beyond the Sea. It really is, because it's beyond the very physical ocean that's in front of them. It's about what they're going to hold on to, and it's about what it takes to survive. It's also interesting themes of faith. Belief in God, belief in the afterlife, belief in infinite justice, that there's an opportunity to right wrongs. It's beautiful. I really recommend this. It's not heavy. It's really illuminating. I adored it. Beyond the Sea by Paul Lynch.